Hello, hello. It's Joey, your INFP. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Today, it is drizzling outside. It's been overcast. It's been dark, um, but not too dark. There's some light peeking through now and then, but no real sunshine. No real happy warmth, I guess you could say. That's how I like to think of it. But I've had a very good day. I love the rain. It helps me focus inward and just be present and be mindful, and I really appreciate that sort of focus. But that's besides the point. I wanted to talk about something entirely different. Um, so I was thinking, what should I do this video on, or my next one? And I thought, well, I should do it on defining moments within my life, and what I've learned from them, and how I can share that experience and help other people and give back in a way. And one of those experiences happened to be when I was very, very young. I like to believe that my recollection is kind of there. There probably is a bias here because I want to see things, but no. Regardless, take it for what it is. So, when I was in elementary school, I was in the gifted program. It was third grade to be exact, and we had our regular class meeting with all students, and then there was just a small group of us, and we would go off for 2 hours during the day, and we would work on specific projects. And for instance, we did like a stock market game, and we did algebraic equations and things like this with blocks. But anyway, at the top of the room in the corner there was a word. And I remember my teacher, her name was Miss Lane at the time, saying, well, this is the focus of this year, this word. And it said perspective. And at the time period, I had no idea what that meant. I mean, I was a little kid, and it's a big word in a way. And once I had learned it, it hit home hard. That was it. That was my life. I was fascinated by the world. I was awestruck by the world. Everything. The feelings, the colors, just being able to abstract and see things differently. This was all my perspective, and I could change my perspective willingly. And it was always as if I was living the dream. And as I grow older, I'm still sort of that way. I concern myself with practical things and doing what I should be doing. But at the end of the day, what makes me feel good and happy and peaceful, is recognizing how limited my perspective is, and seeing the value in that anyway, and seeing how I can give to others using that perspective. And I hope to do that largely through counseling psychology as a professional. And that's my route. That's where I want to go. But there's something really special about the moment, about the now. And it has to do with perspective. It has to do with the way people see things, and how there's something intrinsically good or valuable about everyone's perspective, everyone's standpoint. And I'm not saying that I'm a relativistic person, but what I'm saying is there is a subjective beauty within the world that, in my opinion, points towards objective truth. And that truth, I believe, can't be tapped very easily. I think it's entirely metaphysical, and we can understand it maybe through approaching mystery within our lives. And that's all we can do. Perspective. But what really wowed me at the time was, we had playtime and nap time and these things. We would go out, on little field trips. We would, go to the park, or we do a little science experiment. We used to study Latin stem words on the front of the school underneath the big oak tree. We'd all be just sitting there learning about the language, but without the stress. That's another thing I should bring up. Structure. I need it, but I can't be given it. I need to create it for myself. If someone gives me structure or tells me what I should be doing, like what I need to be doing, it stresses me out. I don't know how to do things in a present way. I don't know how to be happy when I'm following some sort of external, guideline or something. I'm very internal. Everything is sort of comes out. And I guess that's kind of like FI in a way, in my introverted feeling function. But yeah, we used to play outside there, and then we would sort of cultivate butterflies, right? I don't know the word for that. And they would go through the metamorphoses or whatever, and we would let them all go at a certain time of the day, and we would write letters about it and just reflections. This kind of like learning really impacted me at a young age. This is what defined within me a sense of like wonder and awe and happiness and in the world. And I used to think to myself, well, okay, I'm over here now doing this task. It's nap time now. There was this structure going on, right? But I didn't piece it together, like morning, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., this task, this task, this task, this sort of chronological ordering, this structure. I didn't really gain that skill until, probably now. I still don't have it really. Yeah, what else could I say? Yeah, it's just that unstructured environment really was beneficial. So yeah, come to appreciate the different perspectives and the piecing together of events in your life in a way that you recognize to be outside of your control. Something unconditional, something to be grateful about. And, learn to appreciate the limitations. And then I think before you know it, you'll recognize this potential for good and progress and happiness within your life. And I'm here to inspire for some reason. I like to inspire people. And, that's what I want to say. Come to appreciate your perspective, your free will. And then come to appreciate everything that you've become. Not necessarily solely on the past experiences, but on the present and what you have right now. And it's an amazing thing to think about. It humbles you to reflect. It humbles you to think of these things that have defined you.